On today's episode of Demystifying Medicine, the transition from in-person to online schooling, a word from the students. COVID-19 has plagued people around the world for the entirety of 2020. There's a lot of information about the physical consequences that arise due to COVID-19, but other aspects such as the effects on mental health are not easily understood. First, let's explain what mental health is. The World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own capabilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her own community. In any given year, 1 in 5 people in Canada experience a mental health problem or illness. Since the onset of the pandemic and through analyzing its negative effects on mental health, it has been observed that in Canada itself, many are seeing stress levels double since the pandemic has begun. The rapidly growing number of cases has caused each area of the world to implement various different changes. Due to the drastic changes being made in everyone's lives, it is completely normal to feel various different effects of the pandemic. In particular, students have been faced with drastic changes from in-person to online schooling, and this has led to the onset of numerous issues. Even before COVID-19, young people in the age group of 15 to 24 were the most susceptible to get a mental illness disorder. It is also known that diagnosis of depression and anxiety can be seen in students aged 12 to 17 as these diagnoses are increased with age. The transition from in-person to online schooling has made a tremendous impact on the lives of students as there has been a need for greater understanding of online learning technology and remaining indoors. While aspects of online learning have been used previously, the abrupt change to complete online learning has had both negative and positive effects on student mental health. A study conducted by Aristovnik in 2020 has gathered great amounts of data regarding the impact that has been made on student well-being during this time. This includes a sample of 30,383 higher education students above the age of 18 years old and from 62 countries worldwide. The data was collected through a questionnaire which consisted of close-ended questions which covered questions relating to socio-demographic, geographic, and various aspects of student life including academic work, social life, emotional life, and personal circumstances. The transition called for immediate changes to be made in the style of teaching, the assignments, and administration of tests. So, some universities implemented a blending learning style which involves asynchronous learning opportunities and real-time synchronous learning, which was done through various online systems such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and many others. Due to students having to learn remotely, there are many challenges that they are facing. Many students indicated that they are having difficulty staying motivated and lack self-discipline during these times. This has led to students feeling as though they have an excessive workload and in turn are facing higher levels of stress. Additionally, they are having difficulty staying focused and are performing much worse than usual. Moreover, due to feeling isolated as there are reduced social and physical interactions with others because of online schooling, students reported many negative emotions such as frustration, boredom, anxiety, anger, and confusion. An interesting finding in this study included that students felt more stress and psychological pressures due to having to pay for schooling during this particular time. The study also touched upon a few positive impacts that online schooling and the pandemic has had on students' mental health and well-being. Many students reported that they were quite satisfied with the support that they were receiving from the teaching staff. Additionally, students reported that there have been changes in personal habits such as spending more time doing things they enjoy, focusing on personal hygiene, eating healthier, and taking care of loved ones. Now we will have a word from students from different universities regarding how they are feeling about the pandemic and the transition from in-person to online schooling.
Trapped, unprepared, distracted.
Anxious, lonely, and exhausted.
Overwhelmed, unmotivated, and stressful.
The most most frustrating part of taking online classes is being cooped up inside my house. Because you're inside your house all the time, there's no interaction with any other people.
Being unable to schedule time with profs in person and not having the convenience and support of studying with classmates.
Losing my routine and structure that I had when I was physically in school. Now I feel unmotivated because I'm not in a learning environment where resources are always available.
Having to be indoors all the time, feeling paranoid when I did leave my house, just not having the same interactivity in my life that I was so used to having.
The activity I do during the pandemic to cope with it is going outside and working out. It gets my mind off my classes and I get some fresh air.
I go for walks outside, I cry when I have to, and I have faith that one day we will all adjust and have a new normal.
Reaching out to people I have never seen in real life has also become a norm to me.
I personally also avoid watching the news because it gives me a lot of anxiety, so I would just rather read it when I feel like it.
I like to talk to my friends, whether that is having an online movie night or keeping in touch through messages or calling them, because all of us are going through the same thing and it's very tough. But just know that you're not alone and that we're in this together.
As you can see, these unprecedented times have affected many individuals' physical and mental health due to various reasons. The student population is just one group of individuals that is greatly affected by the pandemic. Please understand that you are not alone, and facing mental health issues does not make you weak. If you are ever in need of help or want someone to talk to, these helplines are a great option.